Thank you, Dr. Kate Truitt, for doing this very short but hopefully effective video to help people who are trying to deal with incredible levels of toxic stress. Right now, 2020, the pandemic is raging. So I wondered if you could just walk us through a few things that people can do. And then on the back end of this video, we'll talk a little bit more about why these things work.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you so much for inviting me to connect with you today. My name is Dr. Kate Truitt. I'm a neuroscientist, a clinical psychologist, and basically a fear expert. And as Lou just highlighted, we are living in a time of great uncertainty and a lot of anxiety. And a lot of that is obviously based in our brain, and specifically a part of our brain called the amygdala that I lovingly call Amy, that has one job, and her only job is to keep us safe. And so during this time, she's going to be alerting to all this different stimuli in the environment and trying to tune into, is that safe or is that dangerous? And one of the things that's unprecedented about this time right now is we as a species, for the first time, biologically are dangerous to one another. And we have never had to work in that experience before. And so for many of us, our little amygdalas are firing and wiring at exponential rates.
And exactly at the time when we also, for our mental health, need to stay connected. So I know one of the gestures that havening uses has this wonderful ability to calm our nervous system as well as make us feel warm and loved.
Absolutely. The havening touch is part of a system of protocols called the havening techniques. And this is my favorite havening touch, which mimics exactly that. Yeah, please do it with me. Because you're giving yourself a nice warm hug. And when we think about it, we're giving Amy a hug. And right now, in this state of intense disconnection, social distancing, which I call social altruism, the idea that we're sacrificing, we're doing the hard thing for the communal good. When we are on a video chat, a FaceTime, a WhatsApp, whatever it might be, with a friend, loved one, colleague, associate, we can actually mimic the idea of giving them a hug through self-havening. What it is. Nice little hug. Yeah.
But you also do the hand thing. Tell us about the hand thing.
So this is another version of the havening, what I call mechanism of action, which is just as though you're washing your hands, which we're doing a lot of right now. Hopefully we're doing it anyway, but definitely a lot more right now. And if you saw those little memes going around the internet of choosing a song and singing a song for 20 seconds while you're washing your hands, if you've been doing that exercise, you've actually been already practicing havening and helping your amygdala calm down, soothing it. And by the very act of being proactive about keeping yourself safe, that's an additional bonus.
So yes, the song thing, because I know that you also talk about singing a song.
Yes. So when our amygdala starts finding threatening data in the environment, she plays a role in our ability to think about the world around us. And it's as if we talk about rose-colored glasses, it's almost as she starts putting on stressed out, anxious, or fear-colored glasses. And so as we're incorporating the havening touch, if we give our brain a different job that she can't put a fear framework around, then she's not able to hijack us into an even greater state of fearfulness or anxiety. And so simply singing a song, Old MacDonald, Itsy Bitsy Spider, Imagine by John Lennon, whatever is a warm, fuzzy song for you, or even just doing a brain game. Imagining that you're bouncing a basketball 20 times, or going A to Z, places in the world, bands in the world. You're simply giving your thinking brain a different job so Amy can't overpower it. And then the havening touch calms it down.
So there's nothing magical about Old MacDonald's. It's just that you're doing something that doesn't require like super amounts of brain power, like trying to do statistical modeling or something. But it
will work, for the record, if you want to do statistical modeling, and it's not fear-inducing. It is very fear-inducing for me.
It's very fear-inducing for me too. Old MacDonald's a better choice.
Yes. Yes, so it can be whatever is a neutral or positive stimulus. So even doing a mindfulness walk where you find 5 items for every color of the rainbow while havening, or doing breath work while applying the havening touch, and doing your counting as you do the breath work will be the distraction to help Amy calm down.
I love that. I remember a time in my life I was really, really under a lot of stress, and I would go for a walk and I would find 3 things that I could be grateful for in what I was seeing.
Exactly.
Like a flower, the color of a flower, or the way that a grass moved, or something. I needed to hold on to that. So that's also part of the havening, right? There's these twisting things. Explain about that, the possibilities.
Possibilities, yeah. So you're doing a gratitude exercise, and if you had at that time, and you might have included some hand havening or arm havening while doing the gratitude exercise, the delta waves that this touch generates and the electrochemical shifts that it creates greater permissiveness for something called neuroplasticity, which is our brain's ability to shift and change and grow. And so doing gratitude in that way with the havening touch deepens the neural networks for gratitude and helps them fire and wire. So basically building a freeway that's more focused on gratitude. One of my favorite exercises I call creating possibilities, which is a simple asking questions exercise, because our brain loves to answer questions. So if you say, what if I had cake? The brain's going to go, cake sounds great. Let's do that if you like cake. But we instead say, what if I was calm? The brain's also going to go, calm sounds great. I love calm.
Hmm.
And so by bringing in the havening touch and saying, what if I was calm? What if I was calm? And pondering it, thinking about it, bringing in curiosity. What if I was calm? The brain's going to start to source times in your life where you've been calm, almost like a Google search. And so start to create the electrochemical opportunity or possibility of being in that biological and neurological state. So we do calm, healthy and strong, excited, curious, present, grounded. Sleepy is a good one for insomnia. What if I was sleepy? There's a lot of different ways to use this very simple exercise and to enhance the brain's openness and receptiveness to it with the havening touch.
These are all fantastic tips. And this is where we should tell people that this is not something that you made up.
No.
There's a lot of science behind this. And you yourself have a background in psychology and in neuroscience.
brain geekery, yes.
Yeah. So, because otherwise people might think, well, you know, that thing, you know, sounds nice, but, and then the think positive, but it's not as simple as that. So I'm wondering if you can unpack it. So can we start with the gesturing? Can you unpack why that works?
Absolutely. So these are touches or gestures that you might note we do on a fairly regular basis in connection with other humans. When we walk up to somebody and we see they're having a rough day, we might put our hand down their arm and go, hey, you okay? Or we hug somebody, something that we're all missing so much right now, hence the hug hack. We shake hands when we greet. One of the other motions, which we're not highlighting as much right now, is going across the brow and around the eyes. And you'll frequently see new parents doing a touch like that on a child's face. It's very soothing. Or if you have ever had a tension headache, you might have noticed that maybe you did this to rub out the headache.
Mm-hmm.
So these are motions that we are hardwired to do. And the founders of the techniques, Drs. Truitt and Ronald and Stephen, they're 2 twin brothers. What they did is a deep dive into a couple of different techniques, tapping, EMDR, acupuncture, acupressure, to understand the underlying mechanisms of action. So what was going on at the synaptic level, because nobody knew. And as they were doing that exploration, they streamlined it into what they were identifying, which turned into havening. So it's basically we can hack our own brains and our bodies by specifically creating an electrochemical state that will calm down our primal or our fear brain, the amygdala.
And so you were saying that this actually creates delta waves in your brain.
Yes. So delta waves are also known as our sleepy waves. When we get a really good night's sleep, we get a lot of delta wave sleep. Delta waves, when we're sleeping, are part of the process for releasing serotonin, GABA, and the human growth hormone. And the human growth hormone is specifically useful. I mean, it's useful in many ways, but specifically useful in its ability to help prepare the body to release the toxins of the day and rejuvenate us so we're ready to go into the next day energized, healthy, and well. And the delta wave state is particularly pertinent when it comes to our primal brain, because perhaps you've had a time where you felt anxiety or stress, or I think a lot of us right now are living at a higher state of anxiety or stress. It feels cackly in our body. It's almost as though our networks are going, target, 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 stimulus, 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 react, react, react. And that's indicative of a fast brainwave state that is being generated. And so the delta wave's the opposite. It's slow, it's calming, and it allows our system to calm down. And so by intentionally generating delta waves, it's like we're putting a warm, fuzzy blanket around our fear brain and going, hey, it's okay. I got you. And I got your back. Cool.
And so, you talked about a parent might do this with their child, and you were saying we're backing off this right now because obviously this is a time where we're not supposed to be touching our faces. My hands are clean, my hands are clean. But that gesture and also the hugs, that's also what parents do for children. And I know that, for example, women, when they're breastfeeding, produce delta waves, right? And that children under the age of 2 are producing a lot of delta waves. So could it be that these gestures are somehow reminding our bodies of a time when we were feeling calm and safe?
Yeah, certainly. And one of the really amazing opportunities for individuals who work more proactively with individuals who have deep trauma and are using this as a trauma reprocessing tool, it's a really powerful trauma reprocessing tool, is that we can, for those of us who did not have a safe childhood, who were not taught how to regulate, or their nervous system mirrored an agitated or avoidant nervous system of their caregiver, we can actually biologically and neurologically reparent. So it's really, really powerful. And my teams and I really focus on teaching our patients and our clients how to self-regulate, to rewire their brain so that what wasn't there in their childhood has the opportunity to grow and become now in their adulthood.
Okay, so there's a couple more things I want to ask you.
Let's do it.
In that vein, we're talking about rewiring ourselves if you didn't get that attunement as a child. And I know that with the possibility part of that work, that it's different, as I said, to, think positive, because from what I'm understanding, you are overwriting or creating you're creating new neural pathways so that you don't begin to get those ski groove marks of fear, and you're creating a new possibility so your brain doesn't go down those same grooves. Is that like a very layperson's summary?
That's a good layperson summary.
Thank you.
And in the workshop that you've invited me to host with Echo, will be specifically teaching how everybody can build their own unique health, brain body care program, do their own healing work, and lay down the tracks where they want to be going instead. And so there's a specific process with that. And then the tools that we went through at the beginning of this conversation are more of our in the moment hacks to help our brain body calm down and feel better right now. So there's different opportunities that we can use with Havening for autonomic nervous system regulation, as well as much deeper neurological change. Now, that being said, every time we take a pause and do a distraction to help calm our amygdala down, and then pivot into building a new neural network, what we're doing is preventing Amy, our little survival-based friend, from remembering whatever that trigger point was. So we're stopping the skis from going beyond where they already are. It's preventative work, which is amazing. And then we're pivoting into, wait a minute, I'd rather feel this way. And so when we go into the what if I was, it's as though we're saying we're going to plant a little flower. So we have the stone of the past is right here. But let's plant a flower next to that stone. So then the brain has a decision tree the next time a stimulus or a trigger comes up. And I want to keep building the neural network so that when that stimulus or that choice point shows up, our brain will start to go, flower's better. What if I was?
And that takes practice, right? Because we have an innate negative bias in our brain, which is
Yeah,
again a survival thing.
yeah, we sure do. And so this is also proactively shifting the negative bias because there's unconditioned stimuli that we're born with. And then there's those stimuli that we learn are scary. So never more so in our life right now has a sneeze been a very real threat. That's a conditioned stimulus. And my sense is that going forward, for those of us who are moving through and surviving this pandemic, our little amygdala is going to go, oh, a sneeze is scary for a very long time. Unless we are proactive about saying, nope, a sneeze is a sneeze. It's allergy season. It's okay. Let's sing a song and calm down. I am healthy and strong.
They're talking about that the people in Bhutan are, now that they can go outside, are some of them have become agoraphobic and they don't want to go outside.
Yeah. And I've heard that from some of my patients here, especially those who might have nurses coming in and out of their homes because they have other physical considerations or have family members who are physicians. And they're like, I don't want to be close to that person, and how interpersonally and intrapersonally disruptive that is to suddenly be afraid of the person who historically has always been a part of your tribe. And so there's going to be a lot of nuances that we're navigating. And this is a really wonderful opportunity to support our brain and consistently being reminded that we are okay.
So many helpful things during this time of such heightened toxic stress. And I look forward to the longer training. Okay. Well, it all makes so much sense. We are not brain and body separate.
We
And
are one.
havening makes so much sense because you're working with the brain and the body and interrupting patterns. And it's beautiful. Thank you so much, Dr. Kate Truitt, for this very precious little jewel that you've given us. And I do hope that people will tune in for your virtual training on 20th.
I hope so as well. And I know we'll have the information for registration in the notes from this video. And thank you so much, Lou, for just inviting me to share this information for even those who won't be able to join us. Please start doing this work. It's so helpful. It's so powerful. And teach it to anyone CPR for the amygdala. Let's get it out there and let's let Amy know she's A-okay.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll see you there.